So what makes a great storyteller? I want you just to think of someone that you know that is a great storyteller. And it's no coincidence that some of the most successful winemakers in the world are also storytellers. Wine is this meeting point of nature, farming, art, science, history, food, culture. It's this melting pot. And I think that some of the most successful winemakers are also really skilled in being able to share stories with their guests and with their customers. So what makes a great storyteller? I think the first skill that you have to learn is that of listening and reading your guests. If you blunder up to a table and just out of the blue start to share a story, it might be interesting, but it might not be relevant. The guests might not be in the mood to connect with you. You might have a business meeting happening, or you might have a couple having an argument. You need to read your guests and then create stories that are relevant to them, both from the subject of the story, but also from the timing. It could just be a little 30-second or 10-second story that you share with them, and then over time you create a connection and you have longer stories if you can see that they are interested. The next component is communication, body language, tone of voice, the words that you choose. These are all crucial components of storytelling. If you look at a great example of a fantastic storyteller in the Cape Winelands is Ken Forrester. He has a wonderful presence. He looks you in the eye. He has warmth in his tone of voice. He's got a mischievous smile and laugh. And these are elements that really encourage individuals to listen to you when you share your stories with guests. So think of those great storytellers and see what you can identify in them when you are communicating with guests. The next component, which I love, is that of analogy. We're not just trying to bombard guests with facts. We're trying to really share secrets and the why behind the what. Another story around Ken Forrester is just the way that he talks about old vines, being like an older person with a little bit more character that can actually then create more character in the grapes and therefore the wine. These analogies are the absolute secret to storytelling. Your brain is triggered by stories where you're comparing things to human traits and you're actually giving a little bit of a brush stroke to the painting and not just bombarding guests with facts. So take all of these elements of great storytelling, and the most important component of this course is going to be practice makes perfect. You can have all the theory in the world, but you need to be properly prepared with your knowledge, and you need to properly practice your skills.